Welcome to the show, BobbethTV, let's roll. Bob on the mic, the voice of the night, calling every lap under fierce floodlight. Mud flies, engines scream, white knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and raw, Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. Speed, the battle is tight. Who will rise in the heat of the night? The finish line's near, we're on the edge. Who's taking the crown? Who's falling off the ledge? Mud flies, engines scream, white knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and roar, Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. You again for tuning in tight. BobbethTV, where we live the fight. The engines may cool, but the legend will grow. Till next time, welcome back to the show. Engines prime, the lights go low. Crowd is roaring, time to go. Thank you for joining, the spotlight's aglow. Welcome to the show, BobbethTV, let's roll. Bob on the mic, the voice of the night, calling every lap under fierce floodlight. Mud flies, engines scream, white knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and raw, Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. There goes Von Mead, ripping through the bend.
Alright, BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. Another episode of Mud Mule TV to come your way. Knuckleheadz iRacing League's doubleheader night of racing. It's Monday night in the US. It is Tuesday morning Australian. We're up first with the Monday Modified Mayhem presented by, that is such a mouthful, Monday Modified Mayhem presented by the Bottom Feeder Speed Co. We're here with the Dirt Big Block Modifieds at Eldora Speedway, Rosberg, USA. The guys are in practice. Looks like we've got 12 drivers, 13 drivers registered for tonight's race. Just 11, 12 of them, all 13, no, all 13 out on the track. Brian Angel, John Bennett, Jason Coffey, Chad Putterball, Mikey Mixter, Mike Davis, Callum McKellen, Ty Dalman, Brett Vanderwood, Michael Whiting, Wayne Bridges, Bryce Freeze, and Randy Swampass, Randy Dixon. Rounding out our 13 car field. Thank you, Ty, for the like and the share. Lala in the chat. Good song. Thank you. One of the guys, one of the race car drivers made it for me a while back. And yeah, just used it ever since. It's a great intro. Love it. Thank you for tuning in. Still got about 5 more minutes, so enough time for other drivers to join the competition and take part. Let's see, who did we have last week? How many drivers did we have last week for this competition? Let's look at the point situation as well while we're there. All right, looks like 19 drivers. So a few drivers not here. Bud Molyneux, Chris Standridge, I can see on the leaderboard. Chris Perotta's not here. Let's see who else. Kent McLean, Tom Land. Yeah, number of guys, but Travis McDonald also not here. Our points leader, so it would have been the EOL. So unless he joins within the next, say, 3.5 minutes, then we won't have an EOL, and we will have a different winner this week. Oh, no race sound. No race sound. And the status. There we go. You think I've been doing this for a while now, though. I'm used to doing it and know what I'm doing. Seventh quickest, 16.081, quick time 16.509, his last lap. TT Motorsports Network in the chat. Let it rip the left. That's the way. Definitely here and Eldora. If you are a high line racer, it's a long, long way around the track and make it work. Brian Angel, good luck out there, sir. Quick time 15.882. Currently running last lap of 16.002. Thank you for the like and the share. Appreciate it. Try not to broadcast a curse you. No new drivers registered to less than 2 minutes to go in practice. That will close the sign up time frame. Not qualified, but a couple of noticeable names missing here tonight. Mike Davis, along with the 3 on the leaderboard. Mikey Mr. 0 on our screens. Love that profile kid. You're on the head. Quite happy with yourself. Less than 45 seconds, maybe 40 seconds to go. Practice going to get on qualifying 2 lots of races here tonight. We're starting to most likely to Eldora Speedway. Okay, yeah, I turned the cars up yesterday. Some people wanted them a bit louder, thought I was droning them out. So I've sort of been mixing it back down again to balance it back out, to find a good happy medium, because I feel like some people's audios are different to others, so it's not always the same for everyone. But I dropped the race audio a little bit. How's that sound? I can't increase the mic levels any higher, it's only dropped the race levels. Check my window settings just in case. For God's sakes, when I click the right sound button. Where's my mic? Levels. Yeah, that's on 100% as well. So hopefully we can find a good mix. Perfect. Awesome. Hopefully it's yeah, hopefully we're finding a good balance. Kelly, thanks for the share. Good luck out there, brother. Qualifying is up. That's the 92 of Wayne Bridges, Brian Angel, Bryce Freeze, Mikey Mixter, Randy Dixon also out there. Brett Vanderwood, Michael Whiting. First quick time up on the board. Who's going to get a competitive quick time and try and hold it? Brian Angel 16.650 is there. 16.586 for Mikey Mixter though. 7.52 and 7.92 for Bryce Freeze, Wayne Bridges. Michael Whiting 16.496. Brian replies nicely with a 16.442, but swamp ass Randy. Randall Dixon 16.294 is the new quick time. Travis McDonald. Oh, Travis did make it in, registered in for the race just in time. Holy cow, he will be going to the rear of field when he starts. Actually, it looks like we've got a few drivers registering late. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we picked up John Bennett, Travis McDonald, Kent McLean, all registering right at the last moment, right at the 11th hour. Tied down, man. Third at 16.243. He's quick at the start, like through the tack. Ty very quick. As the track will slick off, he does fall back a little bit, so he has been working on that and getting better over the last couple of weeks. So let's see how he goes tonight. But, got to set yourself up the front to see if you can still do it. So he's definitely halfway there. There's John Bennett, the Heartbreaker, Triple Groove Racing teammate. And McLean and Josh Roberts. John Bennett 16.369 squeezes himself into that top 5 in fourth quickest. Here's Kent McLean, he's going out for his lap. Jason Coffey also hasn't gone out for his. About 2 and a bit minutes remaining. Actually, since we're on qualifying, we could go down the classic cans and stuff. All right, let's see what's Ken going to lock in. He's done that warm-up lap. There's his first lap. He has locked in a 16.711. Another 5 tenths slower than it needs to be. There he goes now. Oh, what did he get the start finish line before he tapped that wall? Let's see. 16.711. He'll be starting at the rear of one of the heats. Probably heat 1. Qualifying wrapping up, so we're about to find out. Jason Coffey not qualifying. Let's see if Jason's in the chat. See if he elected to, or if he's just not made it in time. Registered but didn't. Well, there seems to be a lot more people in the chat. I feel like than in the race. Let's get over to our first grid for tonight. This will be the Monday Modified Mayhem presented by the Bottom Feeder Speed Co. Big block modifieds here at Eldora Speedway. Heat 1 is going to be Ty Dowman and John Bennett on that front row. Michael Whiting and Brett Vanderwood on that second. Kent McLean on that third and final row. Off we go. Tied down, man. Off to a great start. It will be a bit of a follow the leader here. The track quite tacky and new. Bennett, Michael Whiting, Brett Bennett, Kent McLean. Looks like Kent down low. He's going to move himself up into fourth. Maybe battle Brett fourth and fifth. Looks like Brent might have the highline momentum, but 144 of Michael Whiting back there in third in the middle of the track. Not providing a lot of real estate for the guys behind them. Lap heat race here, heat one. Tyler man will be looking at to score the feature pole position start here tonight. We'll double check at the end of the heat, but I'm pretty sure most races have been having constant races, so the heat winners will go straight through to the feature. Have a small battle with the remaining drivers to decide their starting lineup in the feature race. White flag lap about to be up. Bennett up high, tied down man though the race still Kent McLean, John Bennett's teammate in third, Michael Whiting fourth, and Brett Bennett currently fifth. Big one in the books. Results are as follows. Joe Outlaws, Brett Vanderwood fifth, Michael Whiting in fourth as we wait for the leaderboard to refresh. Triple Groove Racing scored 2 of the 3 podium spots with Kent McLean in third, Job Bennett second, but Dirty Boys Motorsports tie down man takes out our heat one victory, and we'll pick up the feature pole position start grid for heat 2. Who's going to line up alongside him? Will it be Randy Dixon or Brian Angel from the front row of heat 2? Second row of heat 2 is Kelly McKellen and Mikey Mixter. Third row will be Wayne Bridges. Alright, here we go. We're going to get this one underway in just a moment. Pace truck will leave the track. Randy Dixon, Brian Angel, Kelly McKellen, Mikey Mixter, Wayne Bridges, the 5-car field, 6 laps, heat 2. Brian Angel off to a good start. They are side by side, Randy Dixon and Brian Angel, though the 21 at Kelly McKellen coming down low as well. Not that far behind them with Mike Mixer and Wayne Bridges fourth and fifth. This is going to be a battle. The 21 sneak up on that low line. We have 3 wide for our race lead. Oh, there is contact between the 21 and the 011, but Randy Dixon holds it. Keeps it going. He will concede first place to Brian Angel, fall back to second. Kelly McKellen's fallen all the way back to fifth place. Wayne Bridges, Michael Mixer getting caught up in that concern as well. No caution though, no yellow flag. They've kept it green. So Michael Mixer going into the pits. Wayne Bridges got some damage as well. He's going to try and pull it down into the pits. Lap 4 of 6. Make that 5 of 6 as Brian Angel gets the 2 to go. It is basically a 2-car race here. Brian Angel, Randy Dixon, 1 and 2. Three-car field made it a bit tricky. Brian Angel got the advantage. Randy, beautiful recovery though with the contact. Stretch for the last time into 3 and 4 will be Brian Angel, Randy Dixon. Callum McKellen's back there in third. Looks like Wayne Bridges, Mikey Mixer will elect to see this one out by the pits. I don't think I finished my thought earlier when I was talking about how we've got this race up now. Afterwards, though, we do have Monday Night Mayhem. So Monday Modified Mayhem up first, then Monday Night Mayhem up next. That will be the SRX NASCAR sort of sedan cars on the dirt track at Charlotte. So that one, unusual combination, is going to be a good race. All right, bottom feeder Speedco's Mikey Mixter finished 5th. Wayne Bridges in 4th. Modiga Marthias, Kelly McCallan in 3rd. Privateer Randy Dixon, Swampass Randy in 2nd. But Yoda Outlaws Brian Angel will score that front row start outside pole position alongside Ty Dalman. Let's get to the grid of heat 3, our 3rd and final heat. And while we do that, let's just have a look at the thing. Nope, everyone just going straight through as they qualify. So Travis McDonald and Chad Putterball will be on the front row of heat 3. Mike Davis and Bryce Freeze 2nd row. Jason Coffey is on that 3rd and final row. If Travis McDonald wins this one, he will be going to the rear of field. He was our points leader, our winner from last week. So the winner from the previous week does go to the rear of field start of the following week. Well, no matter where Travis finishes, he'll go to the rear. But yeah. Alright, pace truck about to leave the track. Heat 3 is about to get underway. Our final heat for the big block modifieds here at Eldora Speedway before our feature race. Alright, halfway into this heat race truck, Chad Putterball, Jason Coffey, Mike Davis, Bryce Freeze. This one has been the follow the leader heat race that we expected sort of in the other two. A little bit more racy than we were expecting, but this one here, it's guys have sort of settled into their race speeds pretty simple. Basically similar gaps between each car. Travis putting the biggest gap over Chad with 0.6 of a second. Everyone else more that 2-3 tenths of a gap. Mike Davis, Bryce Freeze, probably about a second almost there, apart from that one. And any others that I've just pointed out. There we go, the heat's all done and dusted. Our final heat race results for the modifieds. Big block modifieds, in fact. We had, that's the fireworks start. Modiga Mafia's Bryce Freeze and Mike Davis, 5th and 4th. RCI's Jason Coffey finished 3rd. DWR Dirt Warrior Racing's Chad Putterball in 2nd. And Travis McDonald, our previous week's winner, in 1st. So he will go to the rear of field. And there will be a slight shuffle on that grid. All right, let's go through that grid as follows. So Ty Dalman and Brian Angel front row. It's actually going to be Randy Dixon and John Bennett 2nd row. 3rd row Kent McLean and Chad Putterball 4th row. Jason Coffey And Kelly McKellen, 5th row with Wayne Bridges and Michael Whiting. 6th row, Brett Vanderwood and Mike Davis. 7th row, Bryce Freeze and Mikey Mixter with Travis McDonald on that 8th and final row. $35 lap main event feature, I believe. 35 laps. Speedway, quite a good racing track, so this one should be a doozy. Let us know who you've got. Yeah, 35 a lap. The feature looks like the pace truck's about ready to go. Tydo, Mount Brian Angel, front row. John Bennett, Randy Dixon, second. Chad Woodwell, Ken McLean, Kelly McKellen, Jason Coffey, Michael Whiting, and Wayne Bridges. Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, Bryce Freeze, Mikey Mitchell, Travis McDonald, 15. That big block modifieds. 35 laps of Eldora Speedway. Who will be there when it's over? Let's find out. Fireworks are going crazy there. Putting on a good show. Laps in. Quickly up to speed here. Tied down Manstar race leader with Kent McLean in second. Brian Angel third. John Bennett, Randy Dixon fourth and fifth. 6 to 10 is Chad Football, Jason Coffey, Kelly McKellen, Michael Whiting and Wayne Bridges. 11 to 15, Brent Vanderwood, Mike Davis, Travis McDonald, Bryce Freeze and Mikey Mixter. Racing there already, 6 laps in, and this one taking off. I feel like the track's going to slick up quick if that's the case, and that will separate some of the drivers skill-wise. Brian Angel battling for third and fourth, and there on our screens we can just see Kent McLean and Ty Man first and second ahead of them. Behind them though, Randy Dixon, Jason Coffey, Chad Putterball, moving up past Michael Whiting to 8th, moving Michael back to 9th, with Travis McDonald in 10th. Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, Bryce Freeze, Mikey Mixer and Wayne Bridges, the 11 and 15 at the moment. Gone down low, Brian up high. So Brian not really that challenged, but John Bennett is the heartbreaker for a reason. Can be just sort of holding back a little bit. And Kent battling it up the front there. Looks like Kent coming up high behind Ty, which is a bit unusual. A bit off suit, but Brian Angel there in third. Randy's moved up to fourth. John's down low, or maybe just sliding up on exit. Back there in fifth. Great shot off Randy Dixon's car there. We can see the top three ahead of him. Well, looks like one of the cars got up into the wall there. It was the 107 Jason Coffey. He's going to spin out. That's going to be our first caution. Right around almost the halfway mark. So sort of a good competition caution for everyone. Reset, regroup. Ty obviously probably won't be too happy about that caution coming out. Obviously giving Kent a much better reset. But overall, yeah, still over half the race, just over half the race to go. Let's have a look and see exactly what happened with Jason. There's the green yellow 107. Just clipped the wall and then couldn't get off the wall as he come through the turn. Or the 11 unable to avoid contact as well. Kent McLean tied him out front row. Brian Angel and Randy Dixon as second. Chad Puttable and John Bennett third row. Michael Whiting and Callum McKellen fourth row. Mike Davis and Travis McDonald fifth row. Sixth row Brett Vanderwood, Mikey Mixter, Wayne Bridges and Bryce Freeze. On that seventh row, Jason Coffey still in the pits, it seems. After a good start there, looks like Kent up high behind him. Brian Angel's on that low line back there in fourth with Randy Dixon just ahead of him on the high line in third with John Bennett behind him. So look for that to possibly change as that momentum builds. John and Chad will come past Brian Angel in a hurry. Of 35 so far, riding alongside Chad Puttable, riding inside Chad Puttable's car there, just up ahead of him. That is Brian Angel, top five. Contact there between Kent McLean and I'm not sure. I think it was Randy Dixon. Randy plummeting it down that field. He's falling all the way back to ninth. No yellow flag, but he is the master at saving it. We're just going to go back and have a quick look at that. There he is there. John Bennett almost a bit of contact with Randy. There's the contact. Randy actually 360 spins out, gets it going in a forward momentum and keeps the race green without getting the yellow flag called. Gets it back up to speed. That is skill. That is very much skill. Hey Harper. How you going, brother? Thanks for the view. Appreciate it. Nah, frick you, man. We're not. We are. It's just a little moment that we're having. We'll work through it. We'll work through it. I feel like we know what needs to be done to repair the relationship, Harps. Can I call you Harps? Harpy? Harps? I feel like we know what needs to be done to repair the relationship. It's compromise. Hey Beth, how you going? Thank you for tuning in. Currently lap 25, almost lap 26 of 35, just 10 laps to go in what is the Knuckleheadz iRacing Leagues Big Block Modifieds here at Eldora Speedway. This is the Monday Modified Mayhem presented by the Bottom Feeder Speed Co. Harper says, no, it's not, but we can never be friends. Look, I feel like, yeah, you're just angry. You're saying things just to be hurtful, and you don't truly mean them. But that's okay. I'm thick-skinned, buddy. You lash it out. You take it out on me. You get it out of your system. We'll laugh about it one day. Exactly. We'll hug it out, like Beth says. Some good old ERP. Back to my main job, and that is calling this race. Tied down, man. Kent McLean, John Bennett, Brian Angel, Chad Puttable with a 5. It's pretty much been that. It has been the 5. But Travis has actually to push Chad back to 6 and push himself into 5th. So Travis up points. Oh, Chad getting up into the wall a little bit there. Randy Dixon raced his way back into that potential top 5 as well. But Travis McDonald started rear of field because of his points win last week. Has raced his way into contention of that top 5. Sorry, that thought just ended, like, stopped. This is BobbethTV just brought in a golden elixir cup of coffee. So, yeah, just grab that off there. Appreciate it. Oh, just a handful of laps left. While we do appreciate the fact that these guys are battling for position back there in that top 5. Whoops, wrong button. Ty Delman and Kent McLean, they are battling it for race lead. With less than 5 laps to go, we're going to stick with these two. What is it? It's 3 laps to go. Oh, no! No! What a bad time for a caution to come out. Ty really just settled in on that run. Let's have a look. It's the 20 Chad Puttable Dirt Warrior Racing. Unlucky here. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, you see that front left. We'll go back to the start of that replay and just have a look at the front left, how much it wobbles once the camera gets on the street. Look at that. That is loose. Tries to turn to set for the corner and it just does nothing. Throws him up into the wall. 99 avoided him beautifully. Mikey Mixter got a little bit of a love tap, but unfortunately, Chad bringing out that caution. Looks like Jascock's still in the pits. Chad heading on in. We're going to have ourselves a green-white checkered finish here, folks. Green flag run to get up to speed. White flag run for the last lap. Whoever gets that checkered flag first will be our victor. You've got to assume it's got to be between Ty and Kent. Even more so if they double wide restart. If they single file restart, I think that's probably the only silver lining to this restart for Ty. And it does look like we are going to stick with single file. Ty doing a lot of hard work this last couple of weeks. Last couple of races, really. All right, pace truck will leave the track. Ty Down, Kent McLean, John Bennett, Brian Angel, Randy Dixon, the 5. Travis McDonald, Kelly McKellen, Mike Davis, Mikey Mixture, Brett Van Wood at the 10, 6 to 10, 11 to 14, 13, sorry, Mike Whiting, Wayne Freeman, Bryce Reese, Chapter Bowl, and Jason Coffee, 14, and 15 currently in the pits. White flag lap. We will have a finish this lap. Has Kent McLean got anything up his sleeve? Whereas Ty got that gap. Race speed pretty similar throughout the field. Oh, Kent's going to go down low. He's going to try and throw something. Oh no, Ty gets into the wall. Is that going to affect the run? My hands over the... Oh my God, it has. Oh no, Ty. I tried not to say anything about it. I didn't want to jinx him in any way, given the broadcaster's curse, but he's just tapped that wall on exit on the last lap, and it's allowed Ken McLean to slip on by and steal victory. That is heartbreaking. I feel so much for him. Third place last week after leading quite a time. Second place this week. Just building that run. I thought he had it. I thought tonight was the night. All right, our official results though. RCI's Jason Coffey 15th. Dirt Warrior Racing Show Puttable 14th. Bryce Freeze from Odiggy Mafia in 13th. Wayne's World Racing Series Wayne Bridges in 12th. Michael Whiting in 11th. Yoda Outlaws Brett Vanwood in 10th. Bottom feeder Speed Co's Mikey Mixter in 9th. Thank you, Bottom feeder Speed Co, for this battle tonight. Mike Davis from Odiggy Mafia, as well as Kelly McKellen, Odiggy Mafia in 8th and 7th. Randy Swampass, Randy Dixon in 6th. Travis McDonald in 5th. Yoda Outlaws Brian Angel in 4th. Triple Groove Racing have picked up 2 of the 3 podium positions. John Bennett in 3rd. Ty Dowman in for Dirty Boys Racing, sorry, Dirty Boys Motorsports, I'll get that right in a moment, in 2nd, but Ken McLean for Triple Groove Racing gets the victory. Let's get Ken's details up. All right, let's have a look at our interview channel. Well, there's a familiar sight. I haven't had that happen in a while. John Bennett congratulating his teammate. Used to be Josh Roberts. I'd try and sneak in and try and catch John unawares, and I'd never catch him. I'd never get him. He'd always just disappear out the back door. But that time, got him. Yes. All right. Well, it's clear if I ask you, Kent, well, firstly, congratulations. But if I ask you what's one of the skills you've probably picked up from the fact that Triple Groove Racing has since been formed with you, Josh and John, and I'm going to say it's the heartbreaking final few laps sort of moves type of thing that John Bennett is known for. I tried so hard all race not to jinx Ty. The story for Ty was sort of, his first race, I think he went just full throttle and went a little bit too hard, realized he had something. His next race, he sort of, it was a longer one, but he did so much better. And then tonight I was like, look, I think he's got this. And then just taps that wall coming out of 4, and it just gave you that low line run. I wasn't sure coming into 3. I thought, you're just going to, it looks like you were just going to concede second and ride it into the corner behind him, and then you just threw it down low. If he hadn't hit that wall, I don't think you would have got past him. How do you feel that would have gone?
No, he would have had the momentum. I was just throwing what I had left, at it, because I knew I could catch him if I stayed up high. I could have probably got to his bumper at the line, but there's no way I was going to get around him. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to throw it at the bottom and hope it sticks, maybe, because I don't generally run the top, and 70 to 80% of that race I was up top. So that was, yeah.
No, that was definitely noticed. Now, in saying that, there was a few times there, a couple of restarts where, obviously, Ty would get into the race lead, you'd be in second, but in that high line, was that just a case of Ty just getting that good start and moving up in front of you, or were there times where you were just like, look, let's just get up to speed up on that high line? Because I saw John, Randy was another one that had a lot of success down low. And I don't know if they talked about it in the chat, but props to Randy. He was involved in 2 incidents where one where he got actually, I think the first one was with you, where he got knocked loose and didn't was able to hold on to it. But the second one was spun completely 360 and got back on the gas, and basically no loss of momentum, just kept it going as soon as it started facing forward. No yellow flag called. So there was a lot of good competition up there tonight. That top 3, top 4, even top 6 was quite competitive.
Yeah. I mean, most of the race, like he would get the jump on me, and when I come up through and actually got to second, I was like, all right, the low line's there. Well, it went away very fast. Um, and I was like, man, I got to do something. He's pulling away from me. Well, I got up high, and he started. That's when John caught me, um, and I want to say Jason. Um,
Yep.
he caught me, I believe. Um, and then I think we may have had a caution. I'm not sure, but I know it was just I was messing with the throttle control in the corners, just playing with it. And then I found something and I just reeled Ty back in. And then we were nose to tail for I don't know how many laps. And I was just praying he didn't wad up in the wall because I was going to get collected too because I wouldn't have had anywhere to go. But,
But
and I was just thinking the entire time, like, I don't know how I'm going to get around him unless I throw a slider. But then we're going to be throwing sliders back and forth and let the other guys behind us catch us. Because we did it for a while. We for several laps we were throwing sliders back and forth, and it was definitely fun though.
yep. No, well, I mean, we did see at one point 3 wide for the lead. A big challenge for some of the guys, especially if you're in that third or fourth position, I find is, and John, if we spoke to him, we could probably attest to this. Is you want to be sort of, if you have to split focus, you want more focus on the guy in front of you than the guy behind you. But I feel like from third and fourth, if you're in those positions, you had to give the guys behind you more focus than you could give the guys in front of you. Like you just had to, because there was just too many variables, too many options coming at you. Like if we look at the leaderboard, how it finished right now, John and Brian third and fourth, constantly had Travis, Randy, Kelly at their tails, but at the same time, Chad was there, Jason Coffey was there. It was there was no letting up. You just couldn't put as much focus to race speed as you wanted it. It had to be, you were sort of looking at making sure your car was a lot wider than it appeared, making sure you were hitting your marks, and sort of being able to set some of the guys, as you say, if someone had tapped that wall, the momentum change, and that was a big cause of a lot of the cautions, was just some of those guys sort of offline a little bit, up high, tap the wall, lose that momentum, and the cars behind them that are running the good line just have nowhere to go. You're just unable to get around them and coming into contact. But for the most part, that was a racy race. I often call, and it's good that we're going to Charlotte next, because I feel like for me, I call like Rosberg. Sorry, that's where we're at. Eldora, Eldora, and the dirt track at Charlotte. I sort of consider those the super speedways of the dirt track world. In terms
Oh
of
yeah.
they're not necessarily, there's the size difference in between the quarter miles and the super speedways, but they are larger, racier tracks. Both have plenty of real estate, plenty of lines you can run that don't necessarily conflict with other lines, and really don't force the track's down low tonight, so you have to race down low or up high. Yeah, you can build different lanes. No, I'm looking forward to the SRXs up next. Have you done any practice in those?
No.
So basically, practice in tonight's session is going to be your first impressions of the. I mean, we've done asphalt, street stocks, and dirt. We've done what have we done? We've done Arca, from memory, and a few others. The trucks. So I guess asphalt cars on dirt isn't necessarily a foreign idea, but do you know about these? Like, have you raced these cars in their normal context? Like, what are they like? Where do they sort of fall in the racing spectrum? I'm not familiar with
So
them.
uh, so they're they raced them on dirt.
Oh, they do race them on dirt. I thought they were NASCAR.
No, I'm pretty sure they raced the SRXs on
Oh,
dirt.
don't tell me the RX
But
is rallycross, because now I feel stupid.
no, it was Tony Stewart's series he had for a
Ah,
little
it
bit. I
was.
think he
That's
sold
right.
it.
Now I remember. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was
So
like the
they,
XFL of NFL.
yeah, yeah. They
I feel
they
sick.
drive like a mini stock, but
Yep.
have I don't know 900 horsepower. So it's going to be eventful. You may see me do a couple 360s. But yeah, they'll be fun to drive. Like I said before, they are big on the throttle control. I raced them once when they did officials. They had them in officials. I don't even think they have them anymore, but I think I raced at I-55 one time, and they were a handful. So this definitely will be a good show this evening.
Looking
this
forward
next
to it.
race.
Now that I've had that, I should have looked it up. I'm an idiot. I just I saw them and I was like, they look like sort of, I guess sort of mini Arcas or like the sort of somewhat sort of like a smaller late model asphalt car. So yeah, but now that you've said that, I completely remember the series. So it'd be like Stewart Racing Extreme or something, whatever the series was. Yeah, but no, looking forward to that. That's going to be quite cool because yeah, like I say, you guys put on a good show, and the dirt track at Charlotte, much like Eldora, rather than being a 16th opponent on the track, it really is a giving racetrack in terms of allowing you guys to just send it and do what you need to do. So I can't wait. I always enjoy watching the races there. Let's see, what do we? So looks like you'll be the well, obviously you'll be the EOL for next week, but points leader in the Monday Modified Madness. Travis McDonald finishing in 5th. So looks like that might be the story for the foundation. Who can upset yourself or Travis the most? Can you two sort of battle it out between you? Is what's going to go down? Do you feel comfortable in the big block series?
I'm getting used to it again. I used to run them a little bit because I actually used to drive to me from there, just being similar to like a souped up street stock. But I haven't I haven't drove these in a while.
Wait,
but
they alternate,
I'm
don't
kind
they?
of
Isn't
getting
it
my
358s as well? We started off 358s last week, I think.
yeah
Yeah.
they'll rotate. Yeah, so I've the 358s and big blocks. I guess I do about the same in. It's just these bigger cars like the big blocks, the supers, even the pros. It just comes all down to throttle control. The bigger the motor, the less fuel you give it. I mean, realistically.
Yep.
And the faster you'll be. A lot of guys think, let's just hold it to the floor. You're gonna wear your tires out, and you're gonna go nowhere. So
that's yep. Yeah, we'll go somewhere for 27 of those 35 laps, but then yeah, no, as that track slicks up, as does the quality of racing for myself, I feel that. But no, it's everyone coming along and yeah, Ty in the chat one of these days. Brian Angel, nice win, Kent. But yeah, look, as I say, Ty, you're heading in the right direction, dude. Normally, it's one of those things where, if let's say it's a 15 race season, that's we'd sort of like to see that over every, say, by the time the 10th race is in the season, that you've settled in and you've got any sort of niggly bits out of the way. But this dude's literally doing it over 3 races. Like, he shouldn't beat himself up.
Ty is fast. Once he gets his bad luck out of the way, he's going to be hard to beat. Like he is really fast.
Yeah, it's just there's got to be a monkey on someone's back. It's just a matter of the way of the way things happen with racing and stuff like that. And yeah, as soon as that monkey's off, holy cow! And it's not going to be long. It really won't be. It's more.
No.
It's will it be this week? Will it be next week? Not a matter of let's give him a couple of weeks in each division type of thing. It's literally 4 different divisional races, and yeah, he's up here battling a former champion, a UMP champion, current UMP champion rather. So don't beat yourself up too much, man. A lot of the times we've talked where top 5 finishes are a win in these books. Yeah, it's a stiff competition. So now keep doing you, brother. Keep doing you, and we'll have you in the booth in no time. All right, well, I think the other session's about 5 or so minutes to open, so I better give you some time to get up, stretch those legs, fill up the drink bottles, do all that sort of stuff, check in with the crew chief camp. But before we do, let's give them all a shout out and a mention. Who would you like to give thanks for making all this possible?
Yeah, the wife and kids let me do this, and then you, Bob, for the broadcast. Triple Groove Racing, John, Josh, my teammates, KP Plumbing Services, and Mikey and Wayne for putting these series on. Really appreciate that. All the guys at KHR, and all the admins for all the work they do. We, like I say, each time I'm in here, we can't do it without each and every one of them. So, and big shout out to Ty. Like that was an awesome race. Sucks it ended like that. I was hoping, I was ready to settle in to get a second place, but yeah, he'll get him one soon.
Oh, for sure will. No doubt. All right, my man. Well, look, best of luck in the next one. SRX over at the dirt track at Charlotte. It's going to be a good race. I'm looking forward to that one. The doubleheader sort of NOTO racing has been quite good track fields, track and field counts. So I can't wait for that one. Best of luck. We'll have you back in the booth, of course, as we always say. That part entirely in your control. But one of the few drivers said, yeah, we have little doubt we'll have a few chats throughout the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, man. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Ken McLean, our winner here tonight. Looks like points-wise, we'll move into the Monday modified Mayhem points lead. Moving into next week, we'll have the EOL in that 358 race, which the end of line start. So it'll give Travis a chance to rebuild from that 5th place finish. Melbourne Productions. Hey, Bob, I'm not running the SRX tonight. Would love to jump in the booth with you for the SRX if you're interested in having a commentator. It's Bryce, by the way. Yeah, sure, Bryce. Yeah, not a problem, brother. I'm just going to take a quick break as the session loads in. So it'll probably be a little bit towards, say, the last 5 minutes of practice. I'll load in, get the practice up on the screen for the viewers to watch while I have a break. But yeah, by all means, man. But it'd be nice to meet you and have a chat. So yeah. Jump in. We'll check it out. What could go wrong? We'll just do it from the feature winners booth or something like that. But all right, I'm going to get set up to get into the next lobby. We'll be back in about 5 or so minutes to get the practice up on our screens. But the actual BobbethTV broadcast will resume in probably about 15 minutes, guys. We'll be back soon.
The lights go low. The crowd is roaring. Time to go. Thank you for joining. The spotlight's aglow. Welcome to the show, BobbethTV. Let's roll. Bob on the mic, the voice of the night. Who will rise in the heat of the night? The finish line's near, we're on the edge. Who's taking the crown? Who's falling off the ledge? Mud flies, engines scream. White knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and roar. Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. So thank you again for tuning in tight. BobbethTV, where we live the fight. The engines may cool, but the legend will grow. Till next time, welcome back to the show. Engines prime, the lights go low. The crowd is roaring, time to go. Thank you for joining, the spotlight's aglow. Welcome to the show, BobbethTV, let's roll. Bob on the mic, the voice of the night, calling every lap under fierce floodlight. Mud flies, engines scream. White knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and roar. Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. There goes Von Mead, ripping through the bend. Tom Land, the Terminator, pushing to the end. John Bennett's drifting, Foxworth's on fire. McLean and Jackson climbing higher and higher. Travis still chasing Poudre, but Chad's on fire. Mud flies, engines scream. White knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and roar. Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. There goes Von Mead, ripping through the bend. Tom Land, the Terminator, pushing to the end. John Bennett's drifting, Foxworth's on fire. McLean and Jackson climbing higher and higher. Travis still chasing Poudre, but Chad's on fire. Mud flies, engines scream. White knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and roar. Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar. Steel and speed, the battle is tight. Who will rise in the heat of the night? The finish line's near, we're on the edge. Who's taking the crown? Who's falling off the ledge? Mud flies, engines scream. White knuckle drivers chase their dream. Hearts pounding loud and roar. Bob calls it all with a thunderous roar.
Alright, TV is back somewhat. We'll just get the intro in for this race. Practice is up, and I'll just take another quick 5-minute break and get some things sorted before we get the second of two races underway. But this is, of course, the MOTO International Monday Night Mayhem. It says Dirt Limited Late Models, Bob. That's not correct. SRX cars. There we go, at the dirt track at Charlotte Red Concord, USA for this action. Let's get down to the racetrack. Can I find the cams? There they are. And we'll be back soon. Enjoy. All right, BobbethTV is back. We're about 11 and a half minutes in to practice. A little over 3 minutes to go with Kent McLean. Quick time 17:802. We do have Bryce Freeze in the chat. And Bryce, I'm saying that correctly. Freeze? That's the press correct?
Yes, it is Freeze.
Excellent.
Yep.
I know I struggled a few times, but you on your debut night, you did have a couple of awesome people in the chat watching.
Yeah,
you,
my mom and sister decided to join in with us.
So they were quite helpful with the pronunciation, which is great. That's probably I think the two tricky things with this role, and me being Australian, of course. Obviously, sometimes my phrasing or accent can be a little bit tricky to follow, but then at the same time, the interpretation. Sometimes I'm pretty close with the surnames. They're not too tricky. But
I'll be honest with you, Bob. Everybody pronounces it Fries. I've got to the point where I say it's Fries in the summer and Freeze in the winter.
Well, yeah. Well, see, it's like, and I'm sure you've probably never heard this comment before, but for me, it took me to Batman. So Mr. Freeze, he was Dr. Fries, which is spelt that way, and he's called Dr.
That was
Fries.
one of my favorite Batman characters.
And then he goes by Mr. Freeze as the pun, and then it's sort of yours is the other way around. It's spelt Fries, but spelt Freeze. Yeah, and it's just I thought that was quite cool. Like it's, as I say, making sure to get the right way around is the important part. How many drivers have we got registered? So we do just have 9 drivers.
9 drivers.
Yep. A couple of we did have 2 or 3 late ones right at the end of the big block practice. So I'm not suggesting we will, but we could have a couple of extras. I don't see. Doesn't look like any of the Yoda Outlaws guys have come across. See a couple of other names. Obviously, this series, the Monday Night Mayhem series, it's a different car each week. Last week was, I think, a little bit more approachable. It was. I say it was a little bit approachable. It was the non-wing micros at bloody Chili Bowl, which actually was a really good race. I always discredit any races at Chili Bowl as I sort of try and pre-warn the audience that it's difficult track, but that actually was a really, really good race. It was a super racy battle. So
and I think what makes it so difficult is comparing Chili Bowl to the way it actually is versus the way iRacing has it. Is iRacing has it a lot tighter than what it actually is. It's not by much, but it's enough that it gets pretty wide.
Yep.
In person compared to
it does.
iRacing.
I had noticed that is one of the things I feel like, because I know that when I looked at the actual track info, it's really not a small track compared to a lot of the tracks they race on. It's quite comparable to some of the other ones that I'd quite happily race on. But it is, I feel like it's just too thin. And then I've seen Chili Bowl in real life, in video, not obviously in person. But it does seem like an easier track, like a more you can sort of have that 2-3 wide, a bit more comfortable type of thing, whereas 2 wide gets a bit scary here virtually.
It does. It doesn't even matter if it's at Chili Bowl or if it's at Eldora. You go 2, 3, 4 wide. It's scary from a driver's perspective because you have to be perfect.
Yep.
Because otherwise you're going to get into the guy to the left or to the right of you, and it's going to ruin both your nights.
Now, obviously, you're not out here tonight, but have you raced? Are you familiar with the SRXs? Have you given them a shot at all?
I kind of turned a few laps on them with the old Tony Stewart SRX game, but I've never ran them in iRacing. Personally, I'm not really a big asphalt going to dirt kind of guy, unless it's like the street stocks. Those were fun to run. I do know that they do race these on dirt in real life,
Yep.
And the race looks great, just not my cup of tea per se.
Yeah, I completely misidentified them with knowing when we were coming into the series, and after speaking to Kent in the pro interview, and then getting that reminder that realizing that I did know what they were, and I had watched them race and stuff like that with friends, and they are I like it. I'm a big fan of that. You sort of, I guess. And this is not directly the difference, but where you take a particular style of sport and just loosen it a bit. Like in cricket, we've got cricket here in Australia, so we have the T20, which is like a very flashy, big hitting, sort of quick game. I compared obviously the SRX to the XFL versus the NFL. You know, the XFL was basically
Right.
NFL football, but a little bit flashy, a little bit more showmany. And I think that's what this one was. It was about those guys that wanted to I think these cars, they look like they could really door bash, like they're really, you know, you can sort of street stock race them. It looks like there's a lot to them.
Yeah, it looks
I'm not
like
sure
they're
there's
really
enough.
free getting into the corners.
Yeah. Do they go fast enough, I wonder, for the wing to be an advantage?
I'd
I've
say more
actually.
your bigger asphalt tracks it would.
Yep. I was going to say, because yeah, it turns out I went to jump in the session and noticed that instead of register, it said add to cart. And I was like, oh shit, I don't actually even have the SRX car. I mean, I've downloaded it, obviously it's in the files, but I don't own one. And I'm surprised because I feel like this looks like a really nice happy middle ground between some of the crazy late modeled dirt racing and that little bit more responsive and acceleration of you know, than you'd get from the street stocks. I think the one thing you've got to be wary of, though, obviously watching these guys on the screens now, is they do have a tendency to make these combos and these tracks look sort of a little bit accessible, a little bit more easier than they can be. I've followed suit on some of these combos with them, or even gone out on the track in some exhibition races with them, and it's not as easy as it looks. If you just sort of watch these guys race and go, well, yeah, that looks about my skill set, I'll go. There can be some tricky moments there with these combos.
Oh, absolutely. And I love the way that KHR puts these races on, these mismatched combos. It switches it all up for us, gets all of us not uncomfortable per se, but it makes it more fun for everybody.
Now, we were talking about in the last race speed, quite a similar sort of fashion in that there's not a lot of difference between the guys and their top speeds, their fastest laps, things like that. So you are sort of more relying on unforced errors, things like that. But I noticed there in qualifying 3/10 between first and last. So I feel like these heat races very important here. We'll start with the grid for heat 1. It's going to be Mike Davis and Chad Puttable on that first row. Kent McLean, Chris Pryor, second row, and Mikey Mixter on that third row. It's going to be an interesting battle, this one. I find that, and you might be able to tell us better from the previous races. Heat 1, I feel like is the toughest heat to be in outside of being in pole position, because the track, while you could be, you know, even if you've got a driver on tacky than say slick, I feel like it is still follow the leader. There's no real options outside of unless someone picks a line that, you know, like let's say Josh Roberts decides to go low off of start and stay low, and he's traditionally a high line momentum builder, Josh Roberts. You know, you would understand someone building a line and getting him, but I've lost my train of thought on what point I was trying to make there, but no, I've lost it. Damn it, I should have. I think I took off without a destination. I do that a bit. Sorry, Bryce. You'll get used to that. Who have you got for Heat 1? Oh, Frida, thanks. I did hear the hi there. Thank you for the bits. And, oh, Spooky, thanks for the follow again. Appreciate you. Welcome back. 8 months in a row, Jesus. All right, off we go. Not used to these paints. Some of the numbers quite familiar. So Chad Puttable up the top of the 20 Tinkerbell Black Machine. Up the front is Michael Mad Dog Davis. I see a distinct lack of my face on his car, though, which is something I have come to love. Kent McLean down low in second, and you watch him, he'll run that down the low line. You'll love it. You still there, Bryce? We might have lost Bryce somehow. That's Mike Davis, Ken McLean. I literally, that was the point I was making. It's not, Jesus Christ, Bob. Is that the Heat 1's are pretty straightforward. Follow the leader, but there we go. Ken McLean was battling Mike Davis for a little bit there. Mike Davis settling back in with that half-second lead. Ken seems to be able to break it down through the turns, but
Here we go.
There we go. I think you're back there, Bryce.
Sorry about that, brother.
No,
Had a little bit of computer trouble.
that's okay. Skip the crap out of it.
No, you were saying about who am I pulling for? I'm really pulling for Mad Dog Davis here.
Yeah.
He's been really working his butt off. I know him and I have been really chatting back and forth during the off days and really working together, trying to make each other better. I really love seeing the speed that he's been finding this season.
No, definitely true. He was one in the prior season. There was a few names that were consistently sort of talked about in that, very close to just breaking through that glass ceiling as we come to the white flag lap. Mike Davis can hold on and secure the pole position start in our feature. But him, Dawson Potter, Jonathan Foxworth, how quickly you and a few of the other boys came into the conversation, and that's what I love about this. It's made it easy to be. It's not like I'm the exclusive. I only broadcast these guys. I've done plenty of other leagues, especially while doing these guys, but I'll always come back to these guys, always be available, because it's just with that, they just attract good, like-minded drivers, and it's just continued awesome, great competition, like we just saw there in that heat, where I was, saying that it's generally follow the leader, and then bang, we immediately have a bit of a battle. All right, let's quickly get to the results. Of Heat 1 there. Chad Puttable 5th, Mikey Mixter 4th, Chris Perrotta 3rd, Kent McLean in 2nd, but Michael Mad Dog Davis takes out Heat 1 victory. I'll give you the grid, Bryce.
Coming in on the front row, we got Travis McDonald, and we got Ty Dahlman on the outside of him. And coming in in the second row on the inside, we got John Bennett, and on the outside, it's got Wayne Bridges. Who you got on this one, Bob?
Well, likewise with Michael Mad Dog Davis, Wayne Bridges is another personal favourite that I feel like is just a good run away. But Ty just, I was talking about him with
he was
Ken.
on a rail tonight.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that there's always a couple, one or two, maybe sometimes 3 or 4. But at the start of the season, someone will come in, and we used to call it like back when they were called R3 iRacing League. It was the R3 iRacing sort of debut. Sort of luck. You would do quite well on debut, and then sort of balance in, sort of fall into a spot, whether it was stay up there or around there, and others would come in and sort of you'd see that improvement every 3 races. They'd just be a little bit better than they were those prior 3 races, and I was sort of looking at Ty and thinking, he sort of beat himself up in his first race where he did quite well, but sort of just had a wrong place, wrong time, fell back through the field, and then tonight, obviously running that race and just tapping the wall, he's sort of taking like a 6-week run and turning it into like a 4-race run. I feel like he's right around the corner from locking in a win.
As soon as he gets that bad luck behind him, he's gonna definitely be a big contender for all these championships that we've got in these series, all the different series we're running this season.
Yeah, no, for sure. She's good in the Twitch chat.
We got a good battle heat up for second place.
Oh, Tie up in the wall though a little bit. So that's going to put the battle between John Bennett, tie down man. John Bennett has been known to sneak up and take advantage. He is, he pays no mind there. He's not what's the phrase I'm looking for? He will capitalise given an opportunity.
Yeah, he would definitely capitalise on any opportunity he's given.
Let's get those cameras moving. We'll see some of that second place action. The Bucky's 88. Sorry, Travis McDonald. No surprises there. He seems to just climatise with any car. His brother Cody used to race with us as well. Very similar. Sort of picked up where Cody left off. Cody sort of raced his way up into some bigger competition, and Travis has just sort of stepped up and taken that McDonald ball and run with it. But Ty and John, Ty's holding him off. He's a good defensive driver in that respect. I feel like,
Looks like that bottom might be starting to go away a little bit, but I don't know if Travis is finding something. He's really keeping pace. Now we see him move up a little bit, but it might look like that bottom might be starting to go away there in the corners. Ty gets really high up on that wall.
You're at white flag at lap 3 of 4 last time. So Ty is barely going to hold on to that second spot. Yeah, that wall coming in late. Whoever's putting
You know,
magnets
coming
in.
from a racer's perspective.
Sorry, you go.
Coming from a racer's perspective, when you're that high up on the berm there on the outside, that wall almost is like a magnet. It wants to pull you right in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Who's putting magnets in that right-hand side car door there? But results for Heat 2, Wayne Bridges 4th, John Bennett 3rd, Ty Diamant finished in 2nd, Travis McDonald gets the victory. Heat 3, our 3rd and final. Oh no, we're featured. That's Heat's done. That's the inside-outside lines decided. So our feature grid is going to be Mike Davis, Travis McDonald on that front row. There's that opportunity for Mike, Kent McLean and Ty Diamant. No, Kent will go to the rear of field. He won last week. So Chris Protter and Ty Diamant 2nd row. Mikey Mixter, John Bennett 3rd row. Chad Puttable and Wayne Bridges 4th row. And on that 5th row, Kent, as they start to roll out, will fall back. Now, I didn't see how many laps. We will see it in a moment. But you got to think anything over 35 laps, and I mean, obviously we've already heard throttle control is a must with these cars in terms of driving them. But do you feel like for that, if it is, there we go, it's 35 laps. So do you feel like you can sort of find a good position and hold it for say 20, 25 laps, or do you just hold back and just let everyone else sort of burn off and sort of mid-pack it? And what would be your strategy in this sort of race?
To be honest with you, Bob, with these cars, not having the experience, I would just hold back and see where everybody lies, see what the fastest line is, and kind of watch everybody and kind of try and, if there is any wrecks, pretty much play wreck avoidance.
Yep, yep. It's pretty much my NASCAR racing strategy is just basically start at the back and just, as the wrecks happen, try and casually move around them and just, you know, work your way up through the field. I feel like I think the interesting part is going to be all these cars getting up to sort of a good race speed at the start of the race. Once they get up to race speed, I feel like the racing will become a bit more positional, a bit more sort of played out throughout the field. The start is going to be the most important part, so let's see how that goes. And then, yeah, look, it's one of those races, one of those divisions, one of those leagues where, you know, you could race 33 laps and it doesn't matter what's happening in those 33 laps. It comes down to those final two. So, yeah, who knows? Travis gets that fire first off the start there. Mike Davis.
Travis got a really good start there.
So Mike, a little bit too much speed possibly off the start there. Had to sort of had a bit of a tank like fishtail to watch a bit of that speed off. As he said, it was in the third. A little bit of contact with Ty and almost John Bennett, but they've settled in.
Yeah, I definitely think that line's gotten so slick that on that initial start, Mike Davis just pretty much spun the tires there and couldn't get it going as fast as he wanted to. Oh, we got a wreck.
Yeah.
Looks like. Curious to see. Oh, there's the caution. I was waiting to see if it would come out.
Go back to that and watch that one. If it was John Bennett, and I'm not quite sure who the other car. I think it was.
I think it was Ty. I think
Ty, yeah. Yeah, Ty getting a bit loose there on the turns, comes down into John Bennett. They both slide up, and Mike Davis.
And collects Mike Davis.
And the 27 there, Chris Perrotta, looked like he goes to a little bit of sort of side contact as well. 5 on our leaderboards. 27 on the screen, 5 on our leaderboards, I believe. Let's get live screen as we reset. First caution of the night, the 4th lap in. Mike Davis in and out of the pits. Looks like John Bennett's just about to pop out, as is Chris Perrotta. So, unfortunately, because they're involved in the caution, and no wave around to get them back on that lead lap. So they're going to, I guess, just race themselves for a portion of the race till the next caution. Possibly get a wave around and get back on that lead lap back in this battle.
Yeah, when you're in that position, all you can pray for is another caution and not be involved in it. I'm sure Travis wasn't too thrilled to see that caution come out just because he had a pretty good lead. It looked like.
He was building that run. It did look like, and that was something we spoke about in the first race as well, where the second place and back, second, third place back. Sometimes it's usually around there where you've got to be a lot more defensive than offensive and worry about the drivers behind you, and you just sort of, it allows the more often than not either the lead car or the front two cars to sort of break away into their own battle. The only thing that sort of changes in that situation is the one or two cars that is generally involved in that. We've seen some guys more than capable of getting a victory here, but stuck in fourth or fifth because they can't get past third because they worry about sixth, or just vice versa. Off we go again. Travis, we've got a good start down at low, gets it up to speed pretty quickly, but Mikey Mixter with the momentum run down the outside.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of momentum on that top. Bob, if you're in Travis's position, what's your strategy here? Are you trying to get to the top here and get that momentum, or are you going to just try and hold on through that middle bottom area?
Well, see, me, and then this might speak more to my not as much success as I do enjoy, but yeah, I drive Charlotte the same way regardless. So I more drive Charlotte how I like to drive the track rather than where it's at, things like that. So I'm always the momentum in 1 and 2. And I tend to do a bit of momentum in 3 and 4 to the mid to high line. But I do prefer, it doesn't translate quite well on screen, but Charlotte is quite banked. I find that coming in low in 3, apex high 3 and 4, and exit low, try and drive back low out of 4. Just to me, in my head, it gives you a good downhill run out of the bank, and I've enjoyed a fair amount of success using that strategy here at Charlotte. So I would go to what works for me, not necessarily what's working for the track. So if the low line was in, I certainly would unfortunately not take too much advantage of it. Maybe a little bit on entry and exit, but that's it. I'm a throttle.
Really got into that wall there.
We had someone in the chat earlier. Who was it? Let's scroll back. No, I think it's reset, so it hasn't. Oh no, there we go. TNT Motorsports was like literally the second comment was ripped to there, and that's me. I'd almost, you'd have to sneak a tennis ball under my throttle for me to actually do throttle control. Because I'm just, if I can put that throttle down, the harder I can put it down, and with the more force I can put it down, the faster my car goes. Yeah, that's the mentality.
I'm a throttle smasher myself most of the time. Typically like to run about a lane below where the cushion would be, just because it gives me that wiggle room. If I do kind of push up towards the wall, I have that wiggle room to where I'm not in the wall.
Yeah. For me, and a lot of people have a lot of different techniques, especially a lot of this stuff's fixed setups, so there's not a lot you can do, but I find steering ratio can be often overlooked in a lot of the cars, especially on dirt. There's a few little things that people taught me with just different cars and different tracks with in terms of a negative bias or a positive bias in terms of how tight the track itself is or keeping yourself a bit tight, knowing that it's going to slick up and you'll have a little bit more control over it with the wheel and using your pedal to steer and your wheel to accelerate. Like there's just little bits that aren't necessarily guaranteed. You have to learn them to be able to win races, but they're just little things that can help in that respect and provide a difference. And yeah, I say this every week, and I still haven't done it, but my racing sim's sitting there. My daughter gave me her old gaming PC back, so I can switch the old laptop over. That wasn't really that flash, and I really want to get back into it. Like, I've got the racing bug, but I just don't have to fix my computer and set everything else up enough bug to do it.
Right.
I envy you guys so much, because just sitting here, this battle now, Chad, let's see, where's he? Third. You've got John and Wayne back here battling it out in 6th and 7th as if they're in third.
Got really good battles all over the track.
It's just such good racing. It's so easy to just watch it, take it in. Cowboy Rusty in the Twitch chat. Mr. Bob, how are you? Good, sir. Thank you for tuning in. You've caught the second of 2 races. This one is SRX cars here at the dirt track in Charlotte. This is Knuckleheadz iRacing League's Monday Night Mayhem, brought to you by MOTO International. And we're just
going back to
Yep.
Going back to the steering bias, like take it back to the limited late models we did at Charlotte, the 125 laps. That was my strategy. Was go ahead and tighten it up and expect it to be there for me when the track does get really dry and get really slick. And I really had a good run there towards the beginning and middle of the race, and I had magnets on the right front of my right front tire, and stuck me right into the wall there. But I had worked my way up from dead last all the way to 7th, and I really felt like I had a shot to get that race until I got stuck into the wall.
I find, and it's fun because there's a lot of other divisions where you can sort of pick up sort of other skills that you don't realize can relate. I find I'm watching some of the guys now here, and some of them really respecting the slick by not fully setting into the entrance. So just running through it and letting the slick sort of set them into the apex a bit, and therefore not sliding up the track or overshooting it.
Yeah, and watching Mikey, that seems like that's his strategy. Let the slick set him.
And I find that like it's it's sort of like the instinct in these sorts of, I imagine in these cars, I know with like dirt street stocks for me, and you can do it, sort of, do this as well, not so back, not so fast, but is your instinct is just that whole turn right to go left type of turn left to go right, no, right to go left, sorry, instinct. Whereas I find that, like for me, in the modifieds, I have a lot more success keeping them straighter, sprint cars, keeping them a little, basically anything open wheel on dirt, keeping them a little bit straighter. And I feel like if you apply that sort of logic to these sorts of cars or to this sort of race, it looks like, especially with the way that slick is mostly on entrance, you'll have a much better time letting it set. It's those guys that try to set it, I think, that are tapping the wall. Not to target him. How's Ty doing? He's in 4th, so no, he's hanging in there. He's doing quite well so far. Looks like he's racing a little bit lower.
There pretty well.
Let's see where he is on the track position. There he is. Yeah, so still quite like racing that high line, but not.
Yeah, I believe he's moved a little bit down compared to where he was. There at the start of the race.
Definitely gaining on Chad.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a very good run on Chad on the corner exit.
Those lap times.
Looks like 1 and 2 coming out of that corner. He's really getting a good run off the corner there.
Keep an eye on that, but we'll jump back to this battle. This is Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis, 7th and 8th. We can just see Chris Pryor back there behind them. And up ahead, that looks like John and Bennett and Mikey Mixter. So top 5, not that far out of reach, but like I say, it's a situation where Wayne can sort of focus on the front a little bit, but Mike Davis has got to keep an eye on Chris Pro behind him while trying to work out how to get his car past Wayne Bridges here. It looks like he's going to make a bit of a run for it here, actually. Just pop down a little bit lower, having a look to see what it was like through the turn. Ooh, Chris Pryor making a run on Mike Davis there as well. Looks like that's working, that mid to...
Yeah, that middle has really come in really well. I mean, Mike Davis there just used that middle to take that spot from Wayne there, and then it looks like he was bringing Chris along with him.
Yeah, Chris sort of jumped on and went, I'll come for that ride. Little tow road. A lot of, I like the old school designs, the STP versus the Sunoco. The two blues, that's quite cool. I like the
guys doing the old school style wraps for these cars. I love to see it.
And that's the good thing here, is that there's no shortage of guys that can do a good wrap, and they're not scared to share their resources and skill sets. So you can sort of almost get one of each and have something different, but something each really of. Yeah, they all look great. Throwback nights. I remember there was one guy who, in the Run What You Brung series, would paint all of his as if they were barn finds. It was just, there was some really creative efforts.
Oh, absolutely. And we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. Like, hey, what do you guys think about doing something like this? Or, hey, do you think this would look good? Just the camaraderie that these guys have. To be a part of it is just awesome.
it is a good crew. I can jump into the Discord at a moment's notice and just talk shit and know that it doesn't matter what you guys are talking about. I don't have to have the audio muted to be safe or anything like that. It's such a and that's not saying that you don't give each other shit. Obviously, if you can't.
There's
if
plenty
you can't
of crap
roll your
going
mates
around.
up, yeah.
But at the same time, we know it's all in good fun. We don't take each other serious. It's all in good fun. There's never any hard feelings. Look like we got the white flag coming out for Travis. He's got about a 1.6 second lead above Kent. See how he can hold him off here in the final corner of this race.
I love the finishes. They always crack me up. The high fives in 1 and 2, and we are done. 2 races in the bags. Let's have a look at the results. So Chris Pryor, Mo Digging Mafia, Lunatic Racing also in 9th, Wayne's Bridges. So I'd say Wayne's World Racing Series, Wayne Bridges in 8th.
Sweet Jesus.
Bottom feeder Speed Coast, Mikey Mix to finish 7th with Mo Digging Mafia's Mike Davis in 6th. Our top 5, Triple Groove Racing's John Bennett. Ty Dowman in 4th for Dirty Boys Motorsports. DWI's Dirt World Racing, Chad Puttable in 3rd. Ken McLean for Triple Groove Racing in 2nd. But Travis McDonald picks up the victory in this battle. Where was he in points? I think he was 2nd. Yeah, 2nd in points. So we'll take over. We'll be equal points with Kent McLean. Kent McLean 2nd here tonight. Travis 2nd last week. Kent winner next week's. But Travis, unfortunately, taking the EOL. Oh, we've lost Bryce. But we gained Travis. Hello, Travis.
Well, hello, Bob. Long time no see.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. No. I was a little bit nervous actually earlier when I was going through some of the. You must have literally registered for that race right at the last second, or registered early and just hadn't joined, because I was looking through some of the names and hadn't seen them. And I think you, John, and I can't remember who the third person was, sprung up quite late in the piece, and I was like, oh no, Travis, tonight this is going to be an interesting series. But no, you were here. You were able to get it done with a win here tonight. 2nd last week, so you and Ken. Can you pick a series that you don't fight over at the start? No. You and Pete, well, the modified series. So I think Monday night, yeah, it's going to be the battle between you two, because it's basically both series. You're trading wins, 2nds or 3rds, quite close in the points. But the SRXs, I actually had to buy them, so this is the first time we've ever run them, I believe, in a broadcast. Well, definitely in a broadcasted sense. You may have run them in a non-broadcasted or sort of basic series back in the time, but
I was thinking in R3, I don't know, last season of it or something, that Jonathan Sutton wanted us all to race them, and evidently I never did, because I had to buy the car tonight. But
yeah, I did
knew
too.
he talked about them for weeks, and I didn't have the car, so that kind of knocked that in the damn head. I mean, well, evidently I didn't never race it. I was just dreaming it up.
Yeah, I thought they were NASCAR race cars, and then talking to Kent earlier, and I was like, oh no, wait, I remember the Tony Stewart stuff. And then remembered, and then thought, yeah, these are going to be a fun, especially I'll hype up any car at dirt track, midget, micro, mini wings, non-wings, I'll hype anything at dirt track, Charlotte. I think it'll put on some awesome racing. But then knowing that, and then knowing what you guys are capable of, I knew we were a good race. A lot of positional battles, where they might as well have been top 3 battles all throughout the field. We talked about the possibility of sort of 3rd and 4th getting stuck battling each other and allowing the front 2 to run away, and that's sort of what happened with you and Kent. But you sort of got to run away from Kent got to run away from them. So you seem pretty comfortable. It looked like towards the late part of that race, it was the midline of the track. I'm the sort of person that likes to race Charlotte how I want to race it, not necessarily what the track's giving you.
Right.
So, how were you racing it? Were you sort of racing it at will? Did you have to sort of stick with what the track was giving you? Talk us through that.
Pretty much. I mean, I tried some different lines. You probably see me moving around. I went low, 3 and 4, and tried that. It just, I don't know. It didn't feel right. Of course, I was watching relatives, so I kind of was I don't know if Kent was moving around that was throwing my times off so bad, but like one lap, like 18, 20 laps in, somewhere like that, I kind of backed out of it about 3/4 of the back straightaway, and I dove real low and kind of done a big slider line. Well, I gained like 4/10, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, I found something." Well, that didn't help. Like time I got out of turn 2, we were back neck and neck again.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he probably run middle or something, and momentum got him to stay up there. I tried low and mid, mainly mid in 1 and 2, but if you just hit it on the high side in 1 and 2 and just roll around it, you was flirting with the wall. And the wall caught me one lap, and I thought, oh God, because I went from like a 1.8 to like a 0.8 second lead just by rubbing the wall. Because I mean, if you rub it, it pulls you into it. You can't hardly get away from it. And I thought, well, Kent, he'll catch me there, and he'll get me on the bottom finally. Never did. I don't know what I was doing right or wrong, and I don't know for sure with him because it's the first time we run them. But I mean, overall, the car felt like nice. Like it's when it goes to spin around, if you're not real careful, once it gets to a certain point, there's nothing you can do to bring it back. Like it's gone. But if you really pay attention, as soon as it breaks loose, if you'll back out of throttle, it reacts to it. So it's not just snap, you're gone. Of course, I guess that's going to depend on maybe how slick the track ever gets.
Yep.
I'm hoping that it's kind of like the Ass series. Maybe when the track slicks off, it shows it changed the way they handle a whole lot. And on some tracks running the Ass series, it seemed like the blacker the track got, the better they ran. Like, like you could run over the track more. You had more, mid, bottom, and top side. It didn't matter. As long as you kept it steady, it would work. So
Yep.
hopefully piddling with it, that's what happens in these, put on some good races.
Yeah, no, for sure. We've got some strange combos coming up. We were talking about those yesterday in the just as we were talking sort of about the sort of the upcoming schedule. But we've got next gen Cup cars at Bristol Dirt, for an example. We're going to head off to Wild West for the Pro 2 lights, but we've got the new FIA cross cars that'll be at the Lucas Oil Rally track, Pro 4 trucks at Crandon. Along with all the other usual sort of mix up of just crazy combos, wing micros at Millbridge, dirt legends at Lernerville, midgets at Weedsport, non-wing 410s at Lanier. So I feel like this one, the Monday Night Mayhem, obviously appropriately named. The other one, Monday Modified Mayhem, is the 358s in the big block, so you're also appropriately named. But I feel like Monday Night Mayhem, you could not get more mayhem than the coming months for this particular series. It's going to be a lot of fun. I definitely think they should consider SRX as a series in the future. That looked like it was a lot of fun, and I think seeing these cars on a lot of different tracks, they looked like they looked quite racy. Looking at the speed, they seem to race a little bit quicker than dirt street stocks around that sort of, I guess, limited late model, sort of 110, 115 miles per hour sort of range. Some seem to be around the 97, 98 sort of average. Did they feel quicker than they
didn't
drive?
even look.
You didn't. It wasn't. It was one of those things where they just looked good. They just looked like they were they're just a good.
They were pretty smooth as long as you run the laps consistent. As long as you didn't over throttle, like it was a smooth car. The speed wise, if not seeing the speed, limited late area, maybe more like a pro, something like that.
Yep.
Is what it kind of felt speed wise to me. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where it felt like it was.
No, they looked quick. They did look quick, and some of those battles, especially if you do go back and rewatch, we were fortunate enough to check out some of the back half of the field where there was some. As I say, if you didn't see the leaderboard, you would just assume it was top 3, top 5 racing the way the battles were going on, and just some of the speed difference, some of the guys were finding that right line that was working for them, and then some of the guys jumping onto it and coming along for that ride, and seeing how quickly the transition was from positions with the 3-car battles, and it was a good fun race. We talked about it, Bryce and I talked about it. I was fortunate enough to have Bryce in the commentary booth as well. And we just see it now on the screens. But the entrance, the entrance to 1 and 2, that's slick. That's starting almost all the way back at the start finish line and is quite black as a straight line before it even starts to turn in. And like I said, if you just sort of carry it through, we're seeing that a lot of the guys, if you could carry as much speed as you wanted into that entrance and slick, but as long as you didn't set it, you just turned into the turn slightly, the slick would set your car for you. And like I say, if
Right.
you sort of, there was just that nice little bit of bite there in between the wall and that slick that just carried you through 1 and 2 and just built that momentum. And a lot of people took advantage of that. Yeah, as I say, just made it for a really good competitive race. Looking at it on paper, it's quite clear you're 1 point, almost 3 thousandths of a second of 2 second lead over Kent when you were crossing the checkered flag. But if you would watch all that transpire, there were so many good battles out there. I think it was only 3/10, a little over 3/10 between first and ninth in qualifying. So it was always going to be a tough battle, and we've said it plenty of times.
Yeah, I mean,
You can race 30 laps, and it's going to come down to those last 5 in terms of what's left and what you can do and things like that.
I believe if we'd have had like a caution, 10, 15 laps to go, it'd have been a different race because, I mean, me and Kent was just swapping back and forth on times, like 1.3, 1.6, 0.9, it was always right there. So if we'd ever got a caution, it would have probably been a close battle, honestly. I mean, it would have probably been whoever got the best line and could hold it because none of us besides some of the guys in the back of the pack, I've not got to practice much on like trying to maneuver and pass somebody with them yet. I know heat race, man, Mikey ran, too wide for a long time. Like he got around me on the top side, but I was able to hang with him in midline, and we run several laps like that until he touched the wall. So I mean, I believe they'll be pretty racy and passy once we all kind of get used to them. Or I'm hoping, because I mean, I think it's going to be a fun, little car everywhere we go with them. I'm hoping.
No, it's going to be a good competition. I feel like the main focus for a lot of those guys. So you Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis was another couple that we spoke about that I feel like just in this race we're just unlucky. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Mike Davis obviously off to a really good start. He started on the front of the field in this race, but I feel like the success that they're just about to enjoy in the regular season, the normal sort of competitional type stuff that we have, say the street stocks or the late model competition, will only help in this competition in terms of getting that confidence, getting that run up. Ty's another one that he's going to be another, like, it's you can't get it's going to be good for you and Kent, guys like that who can't get used to not getting used to the bridesmaids, so to speak, always having new people nipping at your heels just depending on how they went in qualifying or how the heat races went, what opportunities they're presented. It's going to feel pretty good.
Right.
Well, I'm I think my train of thought, my coffee, my 2 coffees I had this morning.
Coffee done burn out, Bob?
They've done burned out. I think they're not lasting as long as they used to. The second one was a smaller than usual one, unfortunately, just because of circumstance. But you get that on the big jobs. I'll be refreshed for tomorrow. Late models. What are we with? It's pro late models at
Lincoln.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. So that one's going to be a good competition. I like I like that with the varying late model competition, but I like that this one is limited pro super. Like it's another one of those times where the guys that are going to be good in the limiteds aren't necessarily going to be the same guys that are good in the pros, aren't going to necessarily be the same guys that are good in the supers. Much like the Sunday night competition where it's alternating UMPs and street stocks. It's going to be fun to watch all these different battles play out. And like I say, I think there's a few guys that are due a win that are going to see that this season. And likewise, it's only going to make you guys better up the front as well. Yeah, your competition, Chad, yourself. John was just unlucky. John's another one who both times tonight was just stuck being more defensive than offensive. We know he's another guy who can get that car up to the front with a lap or two to go and make something happen. So yeah, if message to any of the drivers, I guess, out there that are watching, don't give up. It's you're only as good as your next race. So regroup, move on, and take advantage of those opportunities tomorrow and next week and go from there. But unfortunately, can only be one winner, and that was you here tonight, Travis. So congratulations. As I say, I kind of wish we had more SRX racing coming up. That was really fun to watch. But yeah, congratulations on taking that one out. Before we let you go, friends, family, and sponsors, who do you need to give a shout out to, making it possible?
Lovely wife and kids for allowing me and supporting me to do it, and a shop for supporting the money and the monthly iRacing bill, and some new gadgets when we need them, and of course, Bob, you for broadcasting for us. We always have a good turnout with you on here, and everybody gets to view different platforms, and we all have a good time. So I mean, it's just everybody coming together so we all can race and have a good time.
That is it, and couldn't think of a better bunch to do it. And yeah, to you and the admins, obviously, who put all the different competitions together. Yeah, it's yet again, it is such a different season, keeping everyone on their toes, moving out of that previous season, but at the same time, it's just already quite competitive, and everyone's sort of settling in already in terms of wanting their piece of that pie. So it's going to be fun to watch. Like I say, pros at Lincoln next week, and I actually got it around the wrong way. We started with supers, pros, then limiteds. It's the other way around. So yeah, pros at Lincoln tomorrow night. That'll wrap up our racing week. So good luck with that one. One last chance to chat to you before the racing week is out. I imagine it won't be easy, but like I said to Kent earlier, and like I said to most of you guys, I have no doubt we'll be talking again before the season is out as to when. That part is entirely in your control. And yeah.
Did you get to see the paint last night on the UMPs?
Did I see the paints? Look, I'm one of those people who can tell you the song lyrics from a song I remembered in '92, but couldn't tell you what I did last night. So I would have seen it, like I would have visually seen it, but I obviously didn't notice what I was supposed to notice.
Well, you would have liked it. Mr. Mikey Mixture fixed me up a paint that he's going to work on a little more. But anyway, he done some real bright colors, some lime green, and they had different colors in it. But check out the numbers on it. You'll really like what's peeking out behind them. You'll get a good laugh.
I'll go back and have a look and see. If not, I'll keep a lookout next week, and we'll go from there. And we'll see what we can. I did notice, Mike Davis, if you are watching that SRX car, yeah, it did have a severe lack of my face on the roof, and I feel like that might have been a big portion of. No, don't. No, but no, as we mentioned that as well. The wraps that you guys have are great.
Yeah.
So no.
Hey, he said fast time.
He did. He was coming out swinging there tonight in qualifying, and in that heat race.
In which, new car, and anybody, even in a new car or some of the old ones, you get out in the qualifying, you got the whole track to yourself. You don't worry about who you're going to hit. You just drive. So sometimes I think it's the fear of, hey, I don't want to bump this guy. Hey, you know what I mean? But Mike does really, really good sometimes in qualifying, and then when it comes to the main show, he kind of falls back, and I wished he could overcome that, because he deserves a good win.
Definitely does. Sort of. It's any race now, really. As I say, I predict a lot of those guys will be this season. Looking forward to. Not sure where Dawson is. Wish you well, brother. But he's another one that has. We'll say got that monkey off the back, but we don't put too much pressure on him to perform each week. But is just getting a lot more comfortable in that seat, and it's so good to see. But hopefully he'll be back soon. A lot of those other regulars that we didn't have here tonight, Chris Standridge, geez, I could name bunches. All right, my man. Look, well, bragging rights for tonight's Monday Night Mayhem, a race for one more week, one more race to go before the racing week is done. So we'll see you on our screens tomorrow night. And yeah, until then, congratulations, brother, and have a good night.
You too, Bob. You have a good day, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye. All right. My brain is just crashing. And I apologize. Big congratulations to Travis McDonald on that victory there tonight. Kent McLean in the heart-stopping, stealing victory in the race prior. If you didn't watch the first race, definitely go back and rewatch that. All right, we've got to do the shout-outs. Spooky Meatball for the follow and the resub. Appreciate you. Well, Spooky Meatball for the Spooky Meatball for the follow, the Spooky Meatball for the resub. Ty for the like and share, Brian for the like and share. You bastard! Yes, you did. Yeah, you bet. I'm not a coward. It was loud and it scared me, Frida. You bastard. Kelly McKellen and Kenneth McLean. In terms of the chat, we had a bunch pop in. Lala was here. Tintin Motorsports. Harper, my best friend. Beth Vixen, Ryken, Ty was in there. Brian Angel, Melvin Productions. Bryce, thank you so much for jumping in the booth. You could have stuck around for the interviews, brother, if you had any questions. Yeah, that was great. It was awesome having you in the booth. We also had Frida. Frida using the bits, being a bit of a mischief, scaring me and shit. Cowboy Rusty, thank you for checking in. She's good. Love is all. Any one of those, the usual lurkers, as well as the unidentified lurkers that come along to watch the people that race as well. Love is all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, that's pretty much the goodbye, Bob. I don't think there's much more to say. Thank you so much. I guess, yeah, I'll repeat that. Tuning in. You know the drill. My name's Bob. Thanks for watching. Love is all. Bye. Shut up. Go, Bob, now. Boy.